Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. This time is the Mythic Legion's Barbarian Legion Builder. I don't know if it's 1.0 or 2.0 body. I'm still very new to Mythic Legions, but shout out to the Cabal for always helping me out. And I'm going to paint this bad boy up when I'm done, actually learning more and more about it. But I want to say special thank to for Horsemen and the Cabal. They've actually been a wonderful group who have helped me get into Legions and ease my way in and showing me the do's and don'ts. So I do want to have a special thank you for you guys. I would not be able to learn how to collect as well with these guys without you. So thank you for that. The Source Horseman website has been extremely helpful as well. Now, on to the actual review. These things are amazing. It's very simple. It is based off of, I guess, mythology that we all know, which is old lore of barbarian days and ogres and orcs. And if you're into Dungeons and Dragons like I am, you will absolutely love this kind of stuff. Now, even better, I also love Lord of the Rings. So this is one of those things where I get the bang for my buck because these are things that I truly do enjoy, and I'm kind of getting it in physical form. Now, with all that being said, let's jump to actually talking about the toy and not about me. So we have a really cool guy, which you see the long beard, the crazy helmet, the muscle definition. If you are into any sort of that Conan stuff, this is for you. It actually looks spectacular and it's sculpted very, very well. Now, let's jump into it. The beard is really cool, but they give you a secondary option head if you don't want to have this because it definitely hinders the front articulation. As you can see here, it's going to stop right here at his chest. It is not a soft enough plastic to make it malleable and pliable. Now, we still get a ton more of other range, as you can see here. And the best part is we can actually remove these. And I'll talk about that in a second, but we're just going to remove those. Now, I am going to swap on the other head so you guys can see what it's like with the other bit of range that we get with this guy. So as you can see, you can tuck the head forward and upward, left and right, things like that. So you can actually get more expressive range. Voila. There we go. Let's get that focus. What's up with this focus today? That's weird. Anyway, yep, there it is. Now we get that. Now our arms can go up, right? It is a single joint, which is going to bum some people out, but you can make a perfect L shape. You can actually rotate it up and down real fast. And there is spinning rotation on the gauntlet. So that way you actually can get a lot more room and things going on well with that. So you can see here, voila, right? Really cool stuff. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hold a sword with two hands because his muscle definition is way too tight. You're just not going to get that with him, which sucks because if you wanted to get those classic Schwarzenegger sword holding poses, you're just not. But all in all, these are still great pieces that I kind of whatever. I'm not going to praise it because I've just been enjoying it, so it's going to be biased, and that's not fair. Now, as far as his rotation we get the left and right. We can tuck in because it's on a crazy circular ball joint. For those of you that are familiar with this kind of stuff, and its ab crunch is going to be very, very nice, and backwards as well too. As you can see, I've already broke it in by just having a lot of fun there. This belt is also removable, so this also makes it highly customizable. Now, even with this in the way, it's soft and pliable. So moving forward, you can see I let go all the way up, and it can bend all the way back this way. You get an unnatural amount of ankle pivot, which you wouldn't think for a guy with this much leg armor, right? But they've made it so that you can actually have a ton of articulation to move these legs around. Look how the leg just spreads out. So rider kicking is not even a problem for him either. It goes forwards and backwards as well. So let's say we wanted to get down to some crouching, real cool posing. Crazy enough, because of the way the articulation in the legs are, you can actually get that real good squatting pose with him, which is pretty dope, right? But the real winner comes with the fact that this guy comes with a unnecessary amount of accessories, which is fantastic. Now, we've already saw the two of the heads, which is fine. But on these heads, you actually get a combination of horns that you can choose from to stylize him. So let's say you went with a horn on this one. You're going to get one of a symmetrical kind as well, too. So you can get the long horns for our options here, which is crazy cool. But let's say you wanted to change it up. You can actually get these winged ones. I'm going to just show you here constantly the different options. We have short gray horns. Then we have these crazy antlers, which I don't even know what these would be used for, but you never know. Maybe you want to be a forest barbarian. You don't know. You don't know nothing about his life. So things like this actually give you lots of variety and option that make sure pretty much Even if you seems like you're the same as somebody else, you don't have to be. You could paint this up and make it completely different. You can splatter these in blood if you felt like it. You're a crazy forest barbarian. Who's gonna stop you? Things like that give you variety, and I like that. I like variety. I like being different. Then we're gonna get to our two different types of shoulder armor. So you get this type of big shoulder armor, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna put it on him so we can see what it's like, how different it is. So these are gonna plug directly into the back, right up here. Whoops, there it is. So you can see that shoulder armor looks pretty cool. You can have it be asymmetrical, or you could put the other one on. And then there is a smaller version, more roundish knight-like barbarian armor. And this is the one I kind of like. This is the one that I use very much. You can see here, looks pretty good. Really, really nice. And like I said, these are the kind of options that you can get that makes it crazy good. Next up, we get, you see the belt armor here. It's pretty nice. But you also get a change in the guard of armor. Ones that can match either version of your shoulder armor as well. Only thing you pretty much can't change are the gauntlets and the boots, but everything else, you have a lot of difference. You also get a shield, a plain Jane shield. So if you want to stack a crazy emblem in here, a vinyl, anything you want to just put on there, or even just rust this up, it's totally fine. The handle is removable as well. I highly suggest, for storage reasons, never, ever, ever leave your handle where you store it in. Just take it out, even if you feel like it's not, because this is still very easy to pop off and break. It will happen, and I don't want it to happen to you. Next up, we get a short knife, long knife. We have a normal sword here. We have a long sword, and then we have an axe. The axe comes one-sided, but all you have to do is remove this piece, and it comes with an extra head, so you can have a double-sided axe, should you please. You also get a spear as well. Again, lots and lots of options. And you get back adapters, which for some reason I don't know where I put, and that's on me, and I'm sorry. But with all that being said, as you can see here, this is one of those cool things that I thought it needed to be shown, and because, you know, I didn't know about the line for a very long time, and I think bringing awareness to it, like reviewing it now, will help. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this so far, but I'm not done yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to talk about it size comparison wise, and the things that it could fit in with, or things that you don't want to fit in with, or even if you just want to put them in stuff. It's totally fine. So we're going to back them on up like a U-Haul truck, and then we'll compare them to a bunch of different lines as well as other Mythic Legions as well. Now, first things first, going to compare them to other Mythic Legions. So we're going to start off, I'm not going to say in size order because that would just be crazy, but in what I have closest to me. So here he is with a goblin. Here he is with a dwarf. You see, those two look pretty good so far, right? Looking pretty good. Here he is with Balam, which is a Tiger Man Knight. And I'll get into him because I want to actually review him as well too. So hopefully I'll get around to him in the next couple weeks. So here he is with Balam, a knight style. And as you can see, the kind of differences into them, they're very similar, but at the same time, just different enough. Here he is with a female barbarian. And I have yet to memorize her name. She's from one of the most recent waves as well. So as you can see here, we actually do get different sizes and different shapes and things like that. So this is all stuff that's pretty cool. Also, most of these parts are interchangeable. So if I want to take armor from him and put it on him, I totally can. And that would just be fine. And I kind of like stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Now, let's take all these guys away. And we're going to do some more size comparisons. Here he is with an Elf Ranger. He has a custom cloak by CJism. So if you're asking, it's a custom cloak. But the body type, I just want to make sure you're aware of the different types of body types. Here he is next to a Mezco. I just put the Spider-Man head on there for now. But as you can see, size-wise, this is a diabolic body. So you can see they size well, pretty well with Mezco. Next up, we're going to compare it to stuff that could be very similar to it. And that kind of just fixed the lore. Oh, one more thing. Here he is with the 9-inch ogre, just in case you didn't know about that. Now, in my opinion, these are things that can fit in with it lore-wise, so just go with it. Here we have a Marvel Legends Thor. I think he fits really well with the Barbarian, especially if you give him his Jabberjaw axe from the most recent Jason Aaron and Rick Miranda stuff, where they talk about the axe. Here he is with a Hulk, an SHF Infinity War one. but it's been modified with a CJ set, a Raging Fire set. So this can actually work as well too. Then we have cool stuff like the Marvel Legends Black Knight, which size-wise he would look a lot smaller, but you know what? If you were in Weird World, I think it would work out. Right? Voila. Then we're going to do stuff like the Hercules Marvel Legends. Right? Do-do-do-do-do. And then Ares. Even though he's in a modern like costume, Ares kind of fashions himself with he's an Olympian, so he could probably give them some magical costumes. So while size-wise, the Barbarian kind of just blends in really well with all of these guys. It's one of those things I don't see him being an issue fitting in kind of anywhere. Even in like the modern Marvel U stuff, I think it's one of those things where, hey, you never know, right? Now we're going to mix it up, show us with some other stuff, see how it goes, right? Here he is with a 1000 Toys synthetic human, because you never know when barbarians have to fight synthetic humans. Here he is with a Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and it kind of works really well with the gold Dino Charge Ranger. Dino theme, prehistoric times, stuff like that. And Articulated Icons Ninja, the feudal era, which feudal era, that lasted quite some time. Here he is with an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga, the decayed version, if you're wondering why it's so shiny bright. And again, voila, even though he's bigger, kind of feels like he can work in there. And the reason why I say that is because if you want to use him as a big buff bodyguard, guess what? It kind of works. So let's move these guys out. Next up, I want to do one more thing, and I just want to compare him to a Predator. Because if anybody's going to be cool enough to compete with a Predator, it would be a Barbarian at the top of his game, right? So here he is with Ahab. Voila. There we go. Looking good. Not too big, not too small, kind of just fits in. So cool things like that kind of just works itself out. I'm just glad to kind of bring this to the forefront. Me and a bunch of other people have really just been getting into it, and I hope everyone's going to be enjoying this stuff. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it informative. And as always, be good, do good, drink your water. Later. One more thing I do want to add, guys. One thing I did forget to touch on is that if you have a Guts, which is whether the Berserk or the Black Swordsman, totally works scale-wise with them. And also, if you have Garo, Garo works pretty well if you want to do like the demons or the goblins, anything like that. So I just wanted to toss that in at the end, as well as the fate stuff. So if you have Ku, Gilgamesh, Saber, all these guys can work out pretty well if you have some orcs on your side. So keep that in mind. Later.